one of the things, the biggest thing for me in the MTC was discovering a part of my mission that would be that wouldn't go away even if I wanted it to, and something that would be with me for the rest of my life. When I went into the MTC, I became aware very soon and very blatantly that I was having severe anxiety. And I had felt maybe that I hadn't fully resolved, previous transgressions, or that I wasn't worthy. And so when I went and I talked to my branch president, President Wetton, I still remember him, and I talked to him about it, and I I expressed that I felt maybe I just better go over everything, and maybe I'm not as worthy as I thought I was. And he was blessed with the insight, and he said, "Elder, I really appreciate you being forthright with me, but I think that this is an emotional issue, not a worthiness issue." And for me, that was kind of the beginning of the rest of my life, I guess you could say. And many, many times during my mission, it was hard for me to come to terms with the fact that this is something that I have struggled with and continue to struggle with, and will for the rest of my life, probably. It's been really difficult, but it has helped me to accept the will of the Lord in a lot of ways, and learn that He's really in charge. I was blessed, and I think this is important, because sometimes we don't recognize anywhere from 8 to 10 to 15% of missionaries that enter the MTC receive counseling of some kind for an emotional or a mental issue. And issue, I hate that word, but for whatever reason, so that they can get the help that they need. And many of them, a high percentage of them, they don't end up serving the whole 2 years of their mission, because them with their mental health advisors and with the church missionary department decide and come to the conclusion that full-time missionary service, at least at that time, is not the best thing for them right in that moment. And with much prayer and much fasting, and many, many people end up, for whatever reason, coming home early. And I was privileged. I was so lucky. I was blessed that I was able to spend the whole 2 years on my mission. I feel so grateful for that. And I think that anyone who's getting ready or anticipating or going through any sort of this type of thing, I think it's so important for them to understand that everyone's circumstances are different, and that if they need to, for medical reasons or for personal reasons, they need to not be out the full 2 years or 18 months, whatever it might be, it's important for them to realize that they're not seen as less in the sight of the Lord, that He loves them just as much, and that their service is insightful and a blessing to their lives, and they can be just as happy about the time, however short, that they spend as a missionary as anyone else who say, "I loved my mission." And it's really hard to save that for me sometimes, because I feel like I wasn't the best that I could have been. But it's important to realize that we can say that with certainty, and that we don't have to feel like we're a failure just because other circumstances came up. And the Lord is aware of all of our circumstances, and that's totally fine. And so I would say that to anyone who goes through that in their mission, or thinks that they may, or anything like that, to know that they're not alone. Don't be afraid to ask for help, and they are there to assist you in fulfilling the purposes that the Lord has put forth for you, whether that is to stay for the full amount of time for which you were initially called, or to be called to a different arena where you can serve Him. But He is always mindful and ever blessing to all of His missionaries.